Mob Psycho 100, Episode 4, Idiots Only Event, Keen. Hey, how's it going, YouTubers? Famincho here, back at it once again with another Mob Psycho 100 review, and right now, it is really hot in my apartment. It is like 90 degrees. My AC broke a few days ago, haven't been able to sleep, haven't been able to record, my PlayStation was overheating. This is all the water I have left. I don't know why I'm wearing a long sleeve. I really regret that. That was a really stupid move. The repairman came around 9, around the time that this episode aired, so I wasn't able to watch it or record my review then. And also, I just got busy with other stuff, been really tired trying to catch up on some sleep, so terribly sorry about that, but I am going to prevail. I am going to review this episode, and to not much surprise, it's another great episode of Mob Psycho 100. I gotta say, I think we're at that point in this series where we can go ahead and assume that this is going to be a pretty good show throughout its run, so thumbs up to that. One of my favorite moments in this episode, I feel like I'm going to be doing this in each of my reviews now, it's just kind of mentioning my highlight for each of the week's episodes, so yeah. This week's highlight was actually that interview that Misato and Ritsu were having at the Mob-donald's. I think it was Mob-donald's, and they're basically talking, and Ritsu was mentioning that he doesn't want to exploit his brother Mob. He doesn't want to talk about his psychic abilities. Like, that's not his information to give to her. Like, you need to just go approach him yourself. And I really like that. It was really humble of him. But when he gets back to the house, he also kind of mentioned that he's very envious of his brother's psychic abilities and how he wishes that he had them and how he could control these kind of things. And I think that was really cool. And also they capitalized it on even more when they're walking to school together, and Mob actually mentions that he's envious of Ritsu and how he wishes that he was popular with girls and how he wishes that he got good grades and was athletic like Ritsu is. And I think that's a really interesting relationship there. I think that's really cool that these, or it's not, I guess it's not cool, but it's just really interesting that these characters are very envious of each other for very different reasons. So yeah, that was probably my favorite moment in this episode. We're also introduced to a couple of new characters as well. We're introduced to Tenga, this kind of gang member character of Salt Middle School. He kind of looks like Kuwabara, has like that Kuwabara pompadour. And then we're also introduced to Teru, the gang member of the Vinegar School, or I think it might have been Black Vinegar. Yeah, Vinegar Middle School. I'm not quite sure. My brain is not working. It is just too damn hot right now. Anyway. Teru has these crazy psychic abilities and basically can wipe the floor with anybody. We see that in the beginning of the episode. We see the Vinegar Gang just basically just destroying the Salt Gang. And the leader of the Salt Gang, Tenga, is now very angry about that. He wants revenge, so he's going to pull off this crazy elaborate scheme to get that vengeance. And it's pretty cool. There's some hijinks in this episode. Another one of my favorite parts was actually the love letter that Tenga planted in Mob's locker. I thought that was so funny. He had to mention that it's from a girl. I thought that was really cool. His friends are like, dude, like, no one puts that on love letters. No one's gonna believe that that's an actual love letter from a real girl. And then it just cuts to a scene where Mom's like meeting up where the girl was supposed to be, and like the narrator's like, he believed it. I thought that was so funny. That was just absolutely hilarious. I love these kind of quick cuts that they do just to kind of resolve a joke. It's really, really funny, and it works really well in this series. So thumbs up to that. That was just fantastic. So yeah, that's really cool. And then we are also introduced to, we've seen the Body Development Club before, but we're kind of introduced to the characters a little bit more. I can't remember their names, but they were really cool characters. I think they have a lot of heart, because originally we have Tenga trying to get them to actually fight the Vinegar Gang or whatever. And it doesn't quite work out. They're not fighters. They believe in body excellence, and they don't want to fight other people. Like, fighting is just for scumbags. Like, we're not going to do that. And I thought that was kind of cool. And Tenga's, obviously super pissed about that. But I think that's pretty cool for the Body Development Club to make that move. So yeah, that's really cool. Anyway, so the Vinegar Gang ends up capturing Mob, because obviously that was all of Tenga's plan, and captures Mob. Mob is like, what's going on? What are we doing here? Like, he has no clue what's going on. And obviously the Body Development Club is really angry about that, because Mob is a member of this club, and they have to go get him, and they walk to Vinegar School, and they take on this gang, and basically destroy them. They pretty much wipe the floor with the entire gang. They're not fighters, but if they're threatened, they'll kick your ass. Like, they'll just straight up destroy you. So they destroy all these guys, and then one of the, I think he was actually the boss, or one of the leaders of the gang, of the Vinegar Gang, calls Teru, who's on a date with a girl, and then Teru's like, oh boy, here we go again. So he has to, figure this out, walks back to the school, and he ends up just literally destroying the Body Development Club. He's just this, like, little kid looking dude. He has like blonde hair. He's like kind of a pretty boy, and he just wipes the floor with them. And he has these really interesting lightning abilities. Like his palms kind of start glowing like an electric color. It's really, really cool. Earlier in the episode, we see Teru like at his home. He's getting ready for school, and we see a newscaster on the television mentioning that, you know, the weather and everything. And she's talking about how there's kind of something ominous going on. There's like lightning and thunder in weird spots that we've never seen before. So we'll keep you updated on that. And I think that those lightning storms actually have something to do with Teru's ability to kind of use that lightning. I think that's interesting there. I think we're going to see more of that power in the next episode or later on in the series. So that was pretty cool. Something I completely forgot to mention was actually Dimple. Yeah, Dimple is now like this little ghost character. He's like a little scrub. And I think he's going to be kind of like the sidekick throughout the series for Mob. I think that's kind of cool. He wants to exploit Mob. He wants to use his abilities to dominate the world, obviously. But I think you're going to... I hate him right now, but I think I'm going to grow on him. I really do. I think that he's going to kind of grow attached to Mob and kind of become a sidekick-like character. Reigen can't even see him, which I thought was funny. He was just like, he's too weak. I can't even see him. I thought that was pretty funny. I love how Reigen just continues to just feed Mob all these lies, and how Dimple's like, I'm not even going to tell him. I'll just let him just fall for that, whatever. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, another awesome part in this episode was, again, seeing some of Teru's abilities, seeing him wipe the floor with the Body Development Club, using these electric palms, and then the final little scene at the end was a smoke clearing from all of his abilities, and then you see Mob standing there like, you're not supposed to use these psychic abilities on people. And I think that's a really interesting mindset that Mob has, and how he respects these powers and how he doesn't abuse them. And that's really cool of Mob. But it looks like Mob is kind of pissed. You see that he's getting angry. His emotional meter goes up. Maybe we'll see a different incarnation of his emotion. Someone mentioned in my I think it was last video. Yeah, he mentioned, because I was saying, like, are there different versions of his like 100% ability? And he was saying there's actually different moods. So if he's like super sad, it'll be a different, different kind of mode. If he's super angry, like last episode where he was feeling raged, he was a different form as well. So that's pretty cool. I think we might get something else in next episode, or we're gonna get something, because he's feeling a certain way right now. So that's really cool. We see him standing there. He takes the rope off of him, and he's just standing there in the two. Oh boy, I think next episode we're going to see a really awesome fight. I mentioned in another review, I think it was episode 2, how I was worried that Mob was just going to be destroying all of the foes, in the series, and how we're going to get some similarities between One Punch Man, how just Saitama destroys everybody. There's not really anyone that can go toe-to-toe with him, but someone commented down below and said, no, don't worry, there's going to be some awesome fights in this series. Mob does have some enemies that can actually put up a fight, so I think that Teru might be one of those. So that's really cool. All in all, really like this episode. Really, really funny. Great animation once again, just fantastic, especially that last scene when Teru's just destroying all those guys. Oh my god, something I completely forgot to mention was when these people walk in and there's like a ghost in their picture. They're like, what is this ghost? Like, can you remove this ghost from this picture? Exorcise it away? And he gets like basically Photoshop out and starts erasing the ghost from the picture. That was absolutely the funniest part, maybe even of the series. That was just so funny. I was just laughing hysterically at that, and how he accidentally erases one of the guy's eyebrows in the picture. That was just so funny. I love that. I love Reigen as a character. Again, I want another episode that talks more about Reigen. I don't know if we're going to get that next episode. It looks like it's going to be like a Mob versus Teru kind of episode, but we're also seeing that I saw a frog. It was kind of weird in the preview. I'm not quite sure, but I hope we get more Reigen later on, because I really like him as a character. I think he's really cool. But yeah, that was just really, really funny moment in this episode. Anyway, great episode. I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Wasn't as good as the last episode. I think last episode was like a straight up 9, because it was just so damn good. But yeah, this is another fantastic episode to what seems to be a fantastic series as of right now. Comment below. Let me know what you think of episode 4 of Mob Psycho 100. What do you think of Teru as a character? What do you think of his abilities? Is he using the lightning in the sky? Does that lightning and thunderstorm, does that have something to do with his psychic abilities? You can let me know in the comments below. Also, hit that like button. I really appreciate each of the likes that I get. It lets me know that I can keep doing these reviews. Also, please be sure to subscribe for these weekly Mob Psycho 100 reviews, anime videos, manga, video games, and everything in between. And I just greatly appreciate it. I just recently hit 100, and I made a big video talking about it, but again, I can't express my gratitude enough. Thank you guys all for subscribing and commenting and liking and all that jazz. I really, really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Twitter at FuMenShow1. I post stuff regarding this channel when videos are going to be up, and I also talk about all the news regarding anime, manga, video games, and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I think I'm going to take like an ice bath, because it is freaking hot in this apartment right now. I'm just going to go soak in the tub. It's extremely hot. I'm going to take this long sleeve off. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.